Tokyo to London, across the globe, respecting the craft, we're in the know. No gimmicks or fakes, just pure passion and skill. The best talents from every wrestling hill. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respecting the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best.
And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 264, and we are continuing hashtag Revolver Week here, and joined by none other than the president of wrestling himself, good old Uncle Phil. What's going on, brother? How's everything, man?
I wanted to woo so bad. You're like, Revolver Week. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. This has been an insane week here. It's been an insane week.
I have
Oh,
seen.
And it's one of those where it's like it technically aligns so well that it started last week. It started last Friday. Thank you again to Alex Shelley for that just insane conversation. And then it's been a good week. It's been a good week talking all things Revolver here with a bunch of amazing people. But we are live here once again with Uncle Phil as we're talking all things Revolver as we're getting ready for this stacked cage of horrors. Before we even get into the card, just Phil, how are you doing, man? How's everything?
It's been a very interesting time. Trying to stay, busy and active, promoting all over the place. So like literally as we're talking right now, I am currently sharing across Facebook groups. Hey, come watch us.
Oh, good.
That's what I do, right?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it because that's been a lot this week. I feel like I've annoyed Phil with the amount of, hey, this episode is live. we are here with this person now and this person now.
Now featuring the extra special episode of Respect the Craft. But it's all good. If it wasn't good, we wouldn't be here.
Yep,
You wouldn't have had Alex Shelley and Rich Swan, and so hey.
We are here. We are here. This has been again, and it's one of those where again a week like this needed to happen just because of how insane this card is going to be as well. Like we said, this is truly going to be one that it's can't miss. We've said it so much, just stacked from top to bottom with truly a who's who of a roster here. Like just the poster alone, without even telling you the matches right there, the poster alone tells you just everything you need to know.
Right.
Like,
I mean, you have, let's see, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 people who are currently on wrestling television.
Yes.
And an Emmy winner.
So that again doesn't tell you everything you need to know. Which again, one of those being someone that's just featured in amazing Disney movie right now. Right. Like everything is happening. And then again, you look at just the who's who of talent right there, everything that's going on. Insane title matches, all of that we're going to be getting into in just a moment here. So it is one of those reasons why if you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets right now. If you haven't already, make sure you go to the link in the description down below to get those tickets, as well as if you unfortunately can't make it in person, catch it on Fight TV Plus, powered by Triller TV. Again, it's right there for you. A stacked just catalog of also amazing events, including the last event, Revolver Friday. So again, check it all out.
Revolver another Friday.
Oh no, I got the, you know what it is, because of the hashtag. So I
Yeah.
just got everything Revolver this, Revolver that. So yes, the event being another Friday, hashtag Revolver Friday there. So go check out the amazing catalog there from Revolver and more, because so many great events happening all on Fight. But let's not waste any more time here. Let's start talking about this amazing card. And it's one of those where it's like, where should we start here? Where can we pick apart? You know what? We'll talk about one of the guests we had on, the one that we kicked off this week. Let's talk about the huge Haas fight. That again, Arby's, you still have time. It's only Thursday.
Right.
Arby's, contact Revolver today. So we have the Haas fight between Jake something versus finally the official here, huge return of Crash Jackson after the amazing surprise in that trios match at the last event there. Talk us through this one, Phil.
I mean, if I'm fair.
Yeah.
Because Jake something's still aligned with the unit. I think there's better opportunities for you, Jake. You don't need to only be that guy, because I think you have the potential to be so much more. But guess who else does too? And that's Crash Jackson. And Crash has something to prove coming back off his injury. He wants to wreck some shops, and Jake something might be the Shocky Rex. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see this in action. I'm ready to see this fight. It's going to go down. It's going to be chaos, and it's going to be hard hitting.
Oh, it definitely is. And it's one of those where, again, when I spoke about it this week, that it's like there's a lot of matches where you will see a lot of chaos just because of weaponry, structures, the whole 9 yards. However, with this one, they don't even need any of that. Just the mere size of these two. It's one of those where I talked to Nick Chin yesterday about it. I don't pity the referee.
Right.
It's one of those where it's like, you know what? Good luck, ref, because having to be the one to try to tell Jake something or Crash Jackson, yeah, you need to break this up, break this, or no. And especially, again, a lot for Crash Jackson now, riding that momentum after that insane return, coming back to, again, prove something, wanting some gold, wanting to just make his mark. And then I know Jake something is not too fond after what happened at the last event. I know I'm not going to point any fingers, but someone might be happy about what happened to JT Dunn at the last show. Just saying.
I mean, it wasn't hey. JT tried to go into a little bit too much business for himself.
He might have.
And like that's something new to us, right? So he finally went one step too far. Sammy on a headset runs out to the ring to try to stop him. He gets waylaid. And out to make the save comes John Moxley. Moxley is the one who starts it saying, you know what? I'm not in control here, but I know what I would do to get rid of this guy once and for all. But Sammy's the guy that runs the place. Yeah. And while he's in the ring, Sammy on the headset, hey, Phil, what do you think? And I'm in the back going, fire him! Get rid of this guy. He gone. JT Dunn is done.
Oh man! Again, I'm not going to be the one to argue with Moxley. That is whatever Moxley says goes at this point, and whatever Sammy says goes. And again, good luck, JT. But the rest of the unit is still going. I guess going strong. Unfortunately, it's just Jake something this weekend. Or is it? You never know what could happen. What could possibly happen with the unit? I can imagine they still have some tricks up their sleeve.
And that is the scary thing about the unit. From coast to coast, there are always other members of the unit lurking somewhere.
Yeah.
There are conversations that I had while I was in the unit of, hey, potential new members. So you never know who could be the next new member.
Yeah.
Who could be a part. Yeah. You just don't know. And that makes it that much more dangerous.
Yeah. Well, again, we shall see. And again, an event like Cage of Horrors, you never know. But also got to go to the comments here because we got the good brother. We got Tussle in the chat saying, I love Uncle Phil.
Tussle Mania.
Tussle, what's going on? We love you too, brother.
But
as we keep going here from that, I want to ask you, because I tried to get the answer from Nick. He doesn't know what it truly means. So let's see if Phil has a little more insight on what exactly is frat house rules. Do you know, Phil? Because this one, I do know this. No matter what it actually is, we can expect, like the Haas fight, just utter chaos and a lot of just insanity. Because knowing what Red is bringing to the table, Steve Macklin and Killer Kelly are not too happy after what happened at Another Friday. And I know Alpha Sigma Sigma, though, are ready for a fight. Brent Oakley, we heard his comments after the last event. He is ready to do whatever it takes to continue to prove and continue that streak, because he has been winning. He has been winning.
The dangerous thing about Red, is that, I mean, Macklin will go at it face to face, toe to toe with anybody in any kind of style of match. Alex Colon is a deathmatch legend at this point, and has shown he will take it to any limit and every limit and push it as far as he possibly can. And so, to me, the way Alpha Sigma Sigma is going about this is the right way.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to control the field. We're going to set up what the stakes are, but we're not going to tell everybody what the stakes are. And I think it's going to be like, we're going to figure it out. We're going to see it in motion, as it is put together. Because looking at the creative minds, and I'm using this term cautiously, Brent is super intelligent. Brent is amazing. I think he has a good mind that's just beginning in this world of professional wrestling. You look at Casey Myers, and I'm like, what is he going to come up with? And then I look at Pledge, and I'm like, Pledge is the loose cannon, the oddball that I'm like, he's the one that's going to add something to this that I'm not going to see coming, that I can't predict, that none of us will predict or see. So it's sort of like, well, where do you put the advantage? You put the advantage inside the court of the guys who are setting up the rules and regulations for what this match is going to be, sort of on the fly and live as it happens, or are you going to go with the guys who have dominated in the fields of wrestling they have gone into? And Killer Kelly's there. She doesn't care.
This is such a hard one, again, because it's the scenario of, you would think advantage goes to Alpha Sigma Sigma. They have the balls in their court, in a sense. It's like they know what they're doing, or do they? Again, the creativity is going to be out the wazoo of just what we can expect. The thing is, again, you have a angry Red, which I feel like that's usually their demeanor anyway. But now you've done pissed them off.
Yeah.
Now it's one of those where they're on a whole nother level of just anger and just wanting to get blood from this.
What could possibly
and it's again, it's a former Revolver world champion in Macklin, former tag team champions, just world renowned, just again, like you mentioned, deathmatch legend in Alex Colon. Which again, for anyone that is in the business, Alex Colon is offering seminar options, so contact Alex Colon today. But it's one of those where, again, I good luck, Alpha Sigma Sigma. Again, I'm not counting them out, but it's hard not to.
They've beaten Macklin twice now. That's the other thing. They've been able to beat Macklin.
They have. They definitely have. We've seen it. But again, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I don't think luck's gonna strike 3 times on this. It's one of those where I can imagine they're watching, they're doing everything, and again, you have the unpredictability of, you never know what could happen with Red. You never know.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be a wild night at the Horizon Event Center, because it's I really hope there is extra insurance on this venue on Saturday night. But there we go. We got Chris Chaos in the chat as well, saying hello, Mr. President. There you go. We got a lot of love here for Phil tonight. There you go. You love to see it.
I'll take the love. I'll take some love.
Oh,
never turn down the appreciation. Affection. Appreciation, affection, same word.
It works out. It works out either way. But we're going to go to 2 competitors. I don't think they appreciate each other too much, because we know it's going to be a true fight when it comes to a first time ever affair. We're going with the Problem Marina Shafir going head to head with the main event monster Fulton. And again, just like that Hoss match earlier, good luck to the referee that has to be in between these two, because you have Marina Shafir, who again doesn't need a weapon, doesn't her hands or her feet are weapons. You see what she does in that squared circle or in the cage. It's a scary sight. And then you have a real life monster in the main event, Monster Fulton. This is gonna be one that, again, I've said this a lot this week about Sammy. This is one of those where he's either a creative genius or just insane with the pairings for this one, for an event like Cage of Horrors.
I mean, one, both don't have to be wrong.
Touche.
And two, if you watched DTV on TNA, I mean, where is Sammy's head at right now? Like, we'll get to Marina and Fulton. Sammy's like off his rocker. Like
he is. It led to a victory, though. We can give him that. It got a victory last week. If you guys haven't checked that event out, please do, because it also is on Fight TV, powered by Thriller TV right now. Check it out, because Sammy Callahan getting that huge victory against Jonathan Gresham. But I don't know, man. It's a thing of just not knowing where the Death Machine is at. But again, this matchup, like I said, it is just showing what to expect at events at Revolver, especially an event like this, like Cage of Horrors here. And here we go. We got Nick Chin in the chat, Chin Riff in the chat there, saying trust in Phil. Again, more of that appreciation and love for our good pal Phil here. But
I'll take it.
But we go into this one here. Your thoughts, Phil, on just this insane first time ever affair?
I mean, like you said, with Marina having the experience in the cage, a tremendous athlete, experienced in MMA and broad MMA. I was going to say just submission grappling, but no, like broader than that. MMA, so she knows how to strike, she knows how to hit you, she knows where to hit you, she knows how to lay those shots that you're not expecting. But Fulton also has a collegiate wrestling background as well. And look at the experience he has said the entire that he's had this entire time inside professional wrestling. And look at the amazing shape he's gotten himself into while he's been in professional wrestling, especially over the last couple of years. And so Fulton versus Shafir, part of me is like, how is this going to go? Is this going to be like, okay, let's test each other a little bit. Let's see where we go. Let's push each other a little bit. Or is it just going to be both of them are going to come out swinging?
It's one of those where it could happen. We don't know what to expect in this one. We just know it is going to be chaotic. It's another one of those that it is going to be chaotic. It's going to be one where you will see a fight. But the thing is, I was about to say, this isn't going to be for just a hold for hold, but it possibly could be. You never know what to expect. Again, just because he's the big man, just because he's a main event monster, doesn't mean he can not just go hold for hold and possibly try to grapple with Marina Shafir here. Might it be the smartest idea with, again, that MMA background? Who knows? But we shall see. And again, it's one of those where you can't count out either opponent here. And it's another reason why you have to be there in person to see just what other insanity happens in this one. But again, if you can't make it, catch the stream. It is going to be truly can't miss. No, definitely agreed here. The entire show is going to be fire, and every match is so unpredictable. It really is. This is why I love we don't do prediction shows here, because you can't predict this. It definitely is one of those where it's just we have to just say what's possibly what we think here, and just we keep going. We keep going with another first time ever matchup that it's one of those where I didn't think I needed this till I saw the graphic. And I think you know where I'm going with this, Phil, as it's going to be the first time ever affair between Very Nice, Very Evil. We got Danhausen coming back to Revolver, going head to head with Paul Walter Hauser here. And this is one where seeing the insanity of Paul Walter Hauser now, not only again, he made his debut at Revolver, getting his feet wet in the ring against Matthew Palmer. Then again, coming back, taking on Matt Cardona. The insanity there of even Bully Ray making his way and showing up, to then debuting at MLW in Battle Riot and having a great showing at Battle Riot too.
Right.
And it's one of those now that again Paul Walter Hauser is showing he truly, pun intended here, respects the craft. He is a craftsman. He is one that is studying. He's getting ready and improving every time. And then you have Danhausen, who again, great performer. As much as people look at the character and look at what he does, he has his teeth as he likes, and to curse.
He knows
people.
how to use them.
He definitely does. Again, we've seen it. We've seen it multiple times. But it's one of those where this is a matchup where, as crazy as it could be, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen when those two square off. Seeing what can happen, in terms of just the actual wrestling side of things here.
So back to what Maniac said
Yep.
in his comment. So many of these matches would be main events at other events. So
Definitely.
many of these talents would be in the main event at so many other events, and we have them all together at Revolver, and that's part of what makes Revolver special. And now we get into the I want to say the word exponential, and I know that's wrong. The whatever the word is that I'm trying to think of, but I can't think of right now. But Hausen versus Hauser. There's like a metaphysical project going on here. And I'm concerned for the well-being of Paul Walter Hauser because Danhausen has curses. He does not curse, but he has curses.
He doesn't like when people curse. He doesn't.
Right.
He's not fond on curses. He wants to make sure we stay on the air.
Right.
As Revolver needs to stay on Fight, we want to make sure it doesn't get taken off Fight for curses.
I mean, but it's funny because I shouldn't say funny, but yeah, you're right. Like the idea of this match when it got announced, it was like, yeah.
It's one of those where it's like, again, when we saw the announcement of the return of Paul Walter Hauser, you're like, okay, Paul's coming back. And you see the announcement of Danhausen being, it's like, okay, I wonder what those two are going to do.
Sorry, that's what the word I was.
There you go.
Existential.
See, it all comes back. It all comes back. And then again, seeing then the match graphic and seeing the announcement that these two will be facing, it's like, you know what? I now want to see it. Like it's one of those where it's like, again, before you're like, there's no, that's not a match that's gonna happen. It's okay. But then you see the graphics, like, you know what? Now I need to see it.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's one of those, I can imagine that was a reaction when Paul Walter Hauser was first announced. I remember talking about it on here that I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna deny him yet before I get to see him in the ring. And then I see him with Palmer, and I'm like, you know what? This is now I'm ready to see what Paul Walter Hauser does next. And again, he continues to impress, and I can imagine he's going to do the same this Saturday at Cage of Horrors.
I mean, the personalities of these two alone mixed together in a wrestling ring is just insane. I can't wait to see them. Clash is not even the right word. There's part of my brain that goes, what if they sort of like form together like Voltron and become a singular entity? Like
that could also happen. This is one of those things that, again, we're talking about the match, we're talking about the possible fight. They could also just decide, you know what if we become friends? Like, we could just see the possibility of the formation of a great tag team at Revolver. You never know.
But then would the level of the curse increase and like literally bring down the house?
The building might go inside out. If you
There
see
you
what I
go.
did there.
There you go.
So we will see. We will see what happens again this Saturday at Cage of Horrors. But from, again, a nice, fun, ever loving matchup, we're gonna go to a little bit of a crazier matchup here, as it will be for the Remix Championship, as the base god himself, Gringo Loco, defends that Revolver Remix title against the debuting Blackheart, Lio Rush. And again, like we mentioned this week, this isn't the debut of Lio Rush. However, this is the debut of the Blackheart, which, again, if you haven't been seeing on social media, it feels like this isn't the Lio Rush we've known. This isn't the same Lio Rush you've seen around. This isn't the Lio Rush that's very happy-go-lucky. This is a whole nother entity here. And again, at an event like Cage of Horrors, I don't know what that's going to bring out of the Blackheart. But then you have the young goat himself, Myron Reed. And after seeing that insane matchup between Myron and Speedball, Myron wants gold, man. Like this is a hungry Myron Reed here. When I had him on the podcast, we spoke about that. Everywhere Myron goes now, he's looking to prove he should be champion or he should be in that championship conversation.
I was writing something earlier. I was preparing some of our social media and posts that are going to go out later, and I was like, it's the champion Gringo Loco, who think about all of what he's done in the last few months. You know, his rivalry that he had with John Moxley, their vicious encounter. That really truly he earned that remix championship, and I look at Myron Reed, and you're right. Everything you just said is absolutely true, absolutely right. He wants gold, and he deserves the opportunity to vie for it, right? Yep. I don't know what's left of Lio Rush's soul. Like something has gone in and corrupted him to form this new Darkheart. That's why it's the debut of Darkheart. This is not Lio Rush. Yeah, this is something else. And when I saw him, I saw his match that he had at Prestige against Jaden.
Yes.
And I was like,
yeah, man.
That's not Leo.
No.
Again, so if you're thinking, oh, it's just Leo with face paint, isn't it cute? No,
this is something totally different. And again, it's one of those where again, it's an evolution of even what the Blackheart was at one point. Because I remember seeing it. I saw the Blackheart once. He battled Joey Janela once at CZW and seeing that. And now it's something even totally different. It's a whole nother just aura. Like you said, I think the Lio Rush we know might be long gone, unfortunately, when it comes to it. Like he's shown up a few times at AEW recently, but I feel like it's one of those where it's like we get little glimpses and then he's gone. Like the Blackheart truly has taken over here. I feel like that's why, unfortunately, I couldn't speak to Leo. I think the Blackheart shut it down. Just said no.
Right.
He doesn't want to speak. He just wants to compete. He wants to do what it takes, and that might mean claiming Gringo Loco's Remix Championship here. A championship he's held with that just a great grip after that insane matchup just the insane matches that he's had defending that championship, going all over from Philadelphia to the last event at another Friday. And it's been just this is one where there's no words to describe what could happen.
Right.
Because it's one of those where the remix title usually brings that unpredictability. But then you add a hungry Myron Reed who's willing to do whatever it takes to walk away as champion here. But then you add the Blackheart, and then you add Gringo Loco, who also has done insane things just to, again, get that victory, to be able to continue to be Remix champion. This is one where, again, this is the cliche here. Don't blink because you might miss something.
The unexpected moment might happen in this match.
There you go. Shout out to the SAT. And we continue here with this one.
I forgot. We're
going to go with some tag team action here, as again with another guest that we've had on this week. And this is another one that I want to say I'm looking forward to, but then at the same time, I might not be, just for the fact of what the Crew has been doing recently. As it will be the Crew, Matthew Palmer and Rich Swann, going head to head with Ace Austin and Jake Christ. And after the actions of Swann and Alex Shelley, this is truly a grudge match.
Palmer.
But Palmer, unfortunately, Palmer was not at the last event. He had a little bit of flight
issue. He's been there before.
No, and he unfortunately also did some heinous things. Right. It's been one of those that finally now they're all together.
Does no one else see like Matt Palmer and the destructive entity that is known as Matthew Palmer and what he's done to corrupt everyone around him and himself? And he just starts picking at people. And he found Rich when Rich was at his lowest and like, hey, can we bring him into our little fold? Like I can see him giggling as he does it.
And he's caused that snap in Rich, because again, when I had him on Tuesday, it was one of those where, again, I love Richie. Richie's very happy-go-lucky. But when we started talking about this and we started talking about the Crew, it brought out just a true maniacal laugh out of him. And I'm like, how are you're laughing about the acts that you guys just did? Yeah. You're injuring someone's loved one here who wasn't a competitor that night. She was there to try to support her husband because you guys were jumping him basically here. And then I don't know if you saw. Did you see his dedication to Jay Christ from the episode?
Yes.
You know what? Just for the people at home though, we're gonna play it once more, just so you could see the mind of Rich Swann now because of the crew. We'll be right back.
Your boy Jay Chris, by the time I'm done, he's gonna be like, look how they do me, 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 look how they doing 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 me. Yeah. Just look how they doing me. They trying to break my feet. Yeah. Look how the crew's doing me. Look how they doing me. Look how they doing me. Yeah, yeah. Gonna break them knees and legs, baby.
Again, much love the Rich, and but oh man, the fact that again he went after that. He went after saying the leg, the feet. Just they're looking to hurt Jake Chris this weekend, and it was a good song though. I got to give it that.
So you look at this match, and 3 of the 4 competitors are former Revolver world champion.
Yes.
You Ace Austin's former remix champion, former tag champion. You see this combination of people together, and you're like, this could be intense based on everything that's happened recently. Because this isn't. There's a difference between it's a wrestling fight, and look at them, they're coming together, versus like, I'm looking for revenge.
Yeah.
I'm looking to cut your knees out from under you, and looking to get back at you, and looking to take you down another peg, and looking to do this to you. These guys are coming like targeted assassins for one another. And that's what makes this match very, very dangerous. And Gia, I want Gia to be safe. I am worried for Gia's safety because I know she'll want to get involved.
Yeah. Again, that is one of those where that could also be a mind game, because the match is a tag match. It is. Mm-hmm. It's what again promoted as Matthew Palmer and Rich versus Jake Chris and Ace Austin. But who stops Alex Shelley from deciding, you know what? Yeah, I have my world title match later in the night. Who stops him from wanting to get involved? Who stops him from possibly using that as, again, something to get into the mindset of Ace Austin here? Like it's a scary thought. Mm-hmm. It's a scary thought here. And again, like I said, I spoke to both Alex Shelley and Rich, and they were very nice at one point. But when we talk about this, it's
yeah.
Oh, man. It's a scary thought. Again, we shall see what happens, because this is truly going to be a fight where I can only imagine when Jay Chris finally gets his hands on the crew here. Yeah, they're going to be in it for a fight at Cage of Horrors.
Yeah.
But again, this is also going to be one of those. It's not for the faint of heart here, ladies and gentlemen. But a more let's go into a more of a happier tag team matchup here, as those Wrestling Revolver tag team titles will be on the line, as you have defending champions Good Lucha Things, Samurai del Sol, and Lince Dorado, Lucha Lit, going head to head with the debuting Bang and Matthews. And when I saw that announcement that Bang and Matthews will be making their debut, I was so happy to see, because I've been lucky to see them live here for Callous Wrestling, and just seeing what they can do. And they're so young and so hungry, man, that this is one of those that I think the amazing Wrestling Revolver crowd is not ready for what they're about to see with these 4. Like, this is truly going to be insane,
Yeah.
fast paced, insane action. And again, those tag titles are on the line, so they will do whatever it takes to get that victory this Saturday.
I mean, Bang and Matthews have made it. Well, you know, they're definitely attention grabbers. So what are they willing
Yes.
to do to grab those championships away from Lince Dorado and Samurai del Sol? And so seeing what could happen in this match is exciting for me because
Yep.
you just don't know what to expect. This is the
Definitely.
match where it's like, I don't know how it's going to go because it's just going to be insanity
Yeah.
in a fun, exciting way.
No, definitely so. It's one of those where it's like, again, it's one of those, like I said earlier with the remix title, don't blink because you might miss something.
Right.
Like, it's one of those where seeing how these four are going to be, because you already know, again, that's why they call him Lucha Lit. He's going to do something lit. He's going to do something crazy. What I should say, because I've been saying good luck to the referee in certain matches, good luck to Tussle. Because I know Tussle is going to want to try to capture everything.
Let me stand under them as they flip over me. Wait a minute. Is this the spot?
I just want to see Tussle and Hardcam be like, look how they doing me. Just trying to capture everything. Oh man, but no,
You'll be fine.
but no, man, this is gonna be insane. And again, this is what you want though from that competition. This is what you want from a tag division like this. That again, Revolver has been bringing such insanity and such great teams together to increase that division and increase just what it means to be Revolver tag team champions.
Mhm.
Like it's one of those. Even with this, that it's. I feel like the crowd was just went wild seeing good lucha things win those tag team titles.
Right.
I feel like it was one of those. Shout out to the DWO podcast, the dads over there, the Dad World Order, that they even said. I think it was almost a guarantee they expected that the grizzled young veterans would be winning those titles again. They would be retaining when they were going into an event that was almost their namesake. And again, this is why you have to, like you said, expect the unexpected. You never know what could happen.
I'm not gonna lie, there might have been a pause of their music being played. I was like, is this okay?
Like, it's one of those where it's like you never know. You never know what could happen. And that is the great thing about Revolver. You never know what could happen. You never know who could show up. This is why you have to be there. This is why you have to watch the shows, everybody. So, but from that matchup there, I'm trying to look at here. Okay, we have. I'm gonna leave one special one for last. We're gonna go into this one featuring my guest from last week, the Revolver World Champion Alex Shelley, defending against Speedball Mike Bailey. And this is another one that I know this match has happened before, but the stakes I don't think have ever been any higher when it comes to this. And seeing the graphic, I was like, give it to me now.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those where it's like, I want to see this now. And even hearing Alex Shelley talk about giving Speedball his respect and giving Speedball the flowers, because again, there is no other performer like Speedball Mike Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing these two collide this Saturday, it's one of those where, again, I'm so glad we're not doing a prediction show, because this truly can go either way. Speedball has had such an amazing just career at Revolver, time at Revolver, I should say. And then it comes to, unfortunately, he has been suffering some losses. And Alex Shelley used that against them. Using that, saying, oh, but you're a loser. And I think he poked the bear there. Saying something like that, it just lit something under Speedball Mike Bailey, who already goes into these matches at 110%. A matchup like this, it might have just added another notch now to what Speedball Mike Bailey's bringing to Cage of Horrors on Saturday.
I mean, these are two of the best in the world of professional wrestling right now.
Agreed.
And Speedball feels like he is constantly improving and looking for that next level, whatever that may be. And now to see them collide for the championship, it's going to be amazing. Ready? It's going to be gangbusters. I think it's going to be a match that you blink and you're going to miss something. And it's not because of like what you are going to see from that insanity of the tag match we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be because these are two very technically minded people. They know how the body moves, how the body works, and they know how to manipulate each other very quickly. They know counters that you've never thought of before. And so the way they're going to move in this match is going to, I think, make everybody go like, make everybody remember, because there are still people out there who I think sleep on both of them.
Agreed.
And
And that is such an insane statement to say, just because it's Alex Shelley and Speedball Mike Bailey. You know?
Right, and I don't understand it because like you watch any of their matches and you're like, this is amazing. This is awesome. They are awesome as talents inside the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And then people are like, I know what match is going to do.
Yeah.
I know where this match is going to ride and sit at. This will be I'm gonna mess up his last name, but Kevin McElraney from PWI. This is going to be one of your match of the year contenders.
Yeah, agreed. This is definitely going to be one where I feel like if this is one of those that's going to do multiple things this weekend. I've liked to ask this question a lot about defining moments. This I feel like is going to be one of those for both of these competitors, and even for anyone that attends this Revolver event, this is going to be one of those where you talk about what is a matchup that you could talk about Revolver that you've loved, and it's going to be one of these. And this is going to be one of those that I feel like after this weekend is going to make so many people now tune into Revolver.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see a matchup like this that, again, we're saying what we think is what we can expect from a matchup like this. And I feel like after Saturday, it's like, oh, it was a whole nother level. It's something that we couldn't even predict to happen. Because again, these two are so just masters of their craft here. They know that art of this. They know how to just be so technically sound, to be so just, again, even talking to Shelley, just seeing how he breaks this all down, how analytical he is. It's one of those where it's going to be a true just masterclass on Saturday. And this is one not to pull back the curtain a little too much, but I feel like this might be a sellout at the monitor, as we like to say.
Right.
Because everyone is going to want to see just what happens when these two clash on Saturday for that Revolver World Championship.
Or it just all breaks down and they just slug each other to death. I mean, either way.
But that could also happen. You never know what could happen here. You never know what could happen. And again, it's one of those where I hope, again, because knowing the crew, knowing what they like to do, I hope this is one of those where we get just a straight up singles contest here. I hope they would have that respect. But
see, now that you've had to throw out the word respect, which makes me go, they're gonna do something.
I know. Again, I want to think Matthew Palmer and Rich Swann would be a little, but again, we'll see. We shall see what happens on Saturday. This is why you guys have to be there. This is why you have to get your tickets and just see what happens here. And what's up, Phil? I'm ready to see you. I don't think Uncle Phil will be wrestling anytime soon right now. So, but eventually, you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen.
Right.
There you go, Tyler Jacks. Hey, Phil, looking good. There you go. What's going on? What's going on, Tyler? But again, we've saved the namesake here. The reason why it is called Cage of Horrors, the true just Cage of Horrors matchup here.
When you said, like, okay, which match are we going to talk about next? I'm like, you better not be talking about this match next, because this is the final match. This is the event is called Cage of Horrors, and this is the Cage of Horrors match. So
yeah,
guess what's going to be your main event, y'all, if you didn't know this already.
I wonder which. I wonder why I left it for last.
I was like, is he really debating this at this point?
But it's one of those where I think when we spoke about Cage of Horrors a while back, it was one of those where I didn't expect it to be this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I expected, again, even when you saw the first poster for it, we thought Mans, they would be involved.
Mm-hmm.
But to see now all three members of the SGC, or what I should say was the SGC here, now all involved, this true implosion of what was that brotherhood now become just utter hatred for the three. Because at another Friday, it was one of those where it's like, you saw Manders, you saw Justice. They still had that common respect. I feel like they were still okay. It was one of those where it's like, hey, there's some differences, but we're going to work it out in this. And then you have to do the break apart. And it was like, nope, I don't think any of these men could care less about each other right now.
Right.
That it's like, what happening Saturday, again, you're adding the element now of Cage of Horrors, adding these three who would do whatever it takes, have put their bodies on the line, and just brutal circumstances. this might tear down the Horizon Event Center on Saturday. Like, oof.
I mean, the Cage of Horrors matches that we have had before have been devastating to the competitors that are in it. It is violent, and you've seen these three be exorbitantly violent. I don't even know a better way to put it. They've done everything to each other. They've thrown each other's off scaffolds. They've gone through boards and tables and glass. There's such a level of hatred that now exists between the three of them that they want to resolve in a ring. And I hope the Cage will put a final nail in it. That it ends it once and for all, because it's gotten to that point of it's so furious, it's so hot, it's so aggressive between these three of them. They need something that will finally end this, and once and for all put to bed the SGC. I hate to say it, I love the SGC as a group. I love all three of these guys, but
Yeah.
for them to work together as a cohesive unit, it's not gonna happen.
No, yeah, it is unfortunately, again, a lost cause of any reunion happening, at least in the immediate future, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, I'm hoping this brings an end to this here. I hope this ends it. Again, after all the bloodshed, after all the brutality on Saturday, I hope this ends it. But knowing how these three are, it's one of those where it might just be the beginning. It's crazy to say. It's one of those where we might see the end of one chapter and then the beginning of the next. But we shall see what happens. We've seen just the insanity and just true brutality of Cage of Horrors. Hell, man, we talked about earlier, Rich Swann has been thrown off one of these.
Yeah.
So we know what to expect. We know what happens in this. And again, for that crowd, you're in for an insane treat. And to those watching from home, get your snacks ready, because once that begins, you are not going to want to move. So this is going to be a reason that you have to be there. If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets.
There is an addiction to the kind of violence that they bring.
Oh yeah.
There is you can't look away when they collide in the ring. And against each other, it's going to be just that much more devastating.
Oh yeah. It's one of those where it's like it's the, I guess the best way to say it, it's like the car crash, that it's like you see it coming, but you can't look away. That it's like, you can't stop looking for it. Like you want to watch and just see what happens next. But yeah, this is gonna be one where, again, if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you get them now. Link will be in the description down below. But as well, again, check out the stream if you can't be there in person. But also make sure you are following all things Revolver there. Follow them on their social media. Wait, wrong link right there. That's for Phil. We'll plug his in a second. But follow Wrestling Revolver there on their social media. PW Revolver on Instagram. Follow them on X at PW Revolver right there. And might as well also remember to follow good old Uncle Phil there at Trust in Phil on Instagram right there. On X at Trust in Phil. It looks like X finally likes Phil again. We were able to tag him perfectly this time around.
Yay!
Also, mine is finally fixed. I feel like we finally did something that X likes us again, because we were a little bit of a thing. We won't say what, because we don't want to put it back in the universe here. But Phil, again, we thank you so much for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure. And again, this insanity here. Go to the final few comments here. As long as those three are gonna breathing, it's not gonna stop with Edge. No, it's unfortunately not.
I mean,
It's
they're
one of
gonna hate
those-
each other. They're gonna. I don't think there's a way back right now.
Yeah.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder. But for right now, there's not a way back. And so you're right. There's going to be this animosity, this hatred between the three of them. But for us, for Revolver, this has to be the final nail that ends what's going on between the three of them.
Yeah. And again, we hope that it is, because I don't know if these venues can hold any more of the SGC animosity.
Yeah.
And the craziness. Because again, it's going to be one where you have to be there in person to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that is going to be Cage of Horrors. For the fans watching at home, and anyone that is still maybe they're still thinking about what's going to happen this Saturday. Any last comments here, Phil, for the lovely people watching at home?
Sorry, something came up in one of the comments that hasn't been seen yet.
Oh no, yeah, that one. Shout out to Tyson, because yeah, yeah. But also nail or screwdriver.
Right. That's what got me.
Um,
We say the final nail. Like, is it nailed or is it like riveted?
that is again with the SGC, you never know what could happen. We
No,
saw
that
the
is true.
insanity and we saw the brutality of what Atticus and Alex Cologne could do. But again, when we add these three elements, we never know what could happen. We
Right.
never know what could happen there.
Hide the gasoline. Or do you? Now I'm getting ideas.
Don't put these ideas out there because Sammy might go crazy. So last
Might go crazy? Like, that's not where he's at. I'm
I'm
worried.
not gonna
I'm
say.
worried for Sam. I'm worried for Sam.
Yes. Again, I hope the insurance is very well for this venue on Saturday.
Right.
But like I said, last comments you feel for the lovely people watching at home.
I mean, Revolver is an amazing experience for everybody who comes. Seeing it live and in person is a different kind of energy, even more so than seeing it on Fight. And Fight is a great opportunity to catch it for $9.99 from the comfort and safety of your own home. And the fact that now Revolver has grown to be this coast to coast and international entity. That, I mean, even in Iowa, which is our true home. You're going to have 1,000 people in that building. You're going to have fans who have come from every coast, from other countries, who've made their way to Des Moines, Iowa for this event. And it means so much, what the fans have brought to us and what we've been able to build as a company. And to be able to bring this kind of event to you, I think just speaks well of the state of professional wrestling today and what we've really worked towards this whole time. So I'm really excited for what everyone's going to see and what they're going to experience, because that's something that's different than some of the other events that you go to. You get to actually feel like you're a part of it and you live some of that energy, and there's nothing else like it.
Definitely agreed there. And again, this is why we've been talking about it all week here. Make sure you check out Revolver. Be there in person. This is why we've had hashtag Revolver Week here, because this is an event like none other, and just a true company like none other. Again, you see it. It's truly just it's truly for our generation, man. It's truly for our generation here. So keep watching, keep supporting. And as always, Phil, we thank you so much for joining us here. Always a pleasure. Can't wait to do it again. And to everyone watching, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys in just a little while as we'll be back with the lovely Sam here to talk about her amazing photography and so much more. But till then, peace, everybody.